What's going on, you guys? It's Golden, and today I've got here my 2005 Mustang GT, and well, I've neglected it a bit over the years, I'll be honest. Now, when I first got it, it had a bunch of small issues. I ended up fixing all those when I got it, but over the years of owning the car, I've kind of just gotten used to it, and small issue after small issue happened, and I just never bothered to fix them. So in this series, we're going to be fixing every little thing wrong with this car here and restoring it back to its former glory from really before 13 owners ago? I'm the 13th, so I guess it'd be before 12 owners ago. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And without any further ado, let's get right into the build. When I say that I've kind of neglected this car, I might be underplaying it a little bit. So really quickly, before we get any further into the video, we're going to go ahead and go over all the issues that I would like to fix with this car. Very obvious one. This right here, this bumper is pretty banged up. It's there was a bolt here at one point holding this bumper on. Both sides are cracked pretty good. The actual like plastic fascia is coming off of the bumper itself. This is cracked. It's all from things like hitting dips in the road, roadkill, such and such, things like that. Now you might notice we already have a different hood on the car. That's because I already sold the carbon fiber one. I decided it would raise our budget a little bit to go back to OEM, and I've also started to like the look of OEM. It just looks so much sleeker, low profile to the car. I like that look. Other big issue, one, this rim has a ton of rust on it, but that's okay. We're gonna be going with new wheels anyway, so that's not my biggest concern. My largest concern is, can you guys see what's wrong here? That's right, there's supposed to be a brake caliper there. I don't have that. Right here, there's supposed to be a cover for this light. And, well, it's not there anymore. And I believe the LED strip stopped working. That covers all of our exterior issues, I believe. Mostly cosmetics, minus the brake caliper. Post-edit Golden here, and I feel like it's important to throw in a quick editor's tip here. So, I didn't mention in the video, but we haven't changed the oil in over a year, so that's how we're going to start this whole process, is we're going to change the oil right quick. Just didn't want to throw you guys into that and you guys be confused. Now, the reason I took the bumper off is I have a new bumper coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this down because there's still a lot of useful parts on it. We have a billet grill, carbon fiber splitter, the turn signals. Everything of that can be saved off this bumper and either resold to recoup costs for the new bumper or put onto the new bumper itself. I guess now we just go ahead and drain the oil, get up under there, drain the oil, see how bad it looks, and I will show you guys just how bad this oil is, and I guarantee it's gonna be terrible. All right, let's see just how bad this is. Hey, that was a pretty good one. We didn't get much oil on our hands. Now, looking at that oil, it is, well, very black. And if I'm being quite honest, it also resembles water. We're taking care of it now, so that's what matters. We're gonna go ahead and pull off this oil filter, slap some new oil in it, and check that off our to-do list. And I'm seeing what I hope isn't a leak under the transmission. We're gonna have to check that out too. Fuck. All right, now that the oil is drained, the filter is changed, the plug is back in, I would love to just refill it with oil, but while it was in the air, I noticed another issue we gotta fix. That's pretty bad. Now, as for why it's doing that, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on screen here, but the entire strut is showing. Now, it seems to be a loose connection where the strut meets the wheel, but I did notice a bit of movement on this one too. Let's see if it does. Not quite as bad, but still pretty bad. All right, so good news. The thing that was causing the wheel to go back and forth was this one bolt was decently loose. Now, I can think of a number of reasons why. One, I don't have a torque wrench, so when I put the new suspension in, I probably torqued it to the wrong spec and it came loose. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this on up real nicely, but you can see, I mean, that ain't going nowhere now. All right, we have just gotten both sides of the suspension tightened up. I cannot believe that happened. Of course, I have my theory that I didn't have a torque wrench, so that could have meant I didn't torque it properly and it backed off. I would believe that, but all fixed up now until I need to fix it again. All right, we got the first little bit of maintenance finished, and I gotta be honest, I forget how mean this thing sounds. All right, now that the car is out of the way, oil's changed, suspension is tightened up. There's a couple more things that we're going to do on that. Don't worry, I wasn't just going to do oil change for maintenance and do everything else cosmetic. But we'll get back to that later, because right now, on the way, we have the California Special bumper for the 07 to 09 Mustang GT. Now, obviously, this is an 05. It was before the California Special was even a thing, but it's on the way. I'm going to go ahead and put a picture up on the screen right now, or maybe I'll cut to it once it gets here. Don't know yet. But the bumper, let's look over this. So, current bumper shape. That ain't supposed to do that. These are all rusted. This right here is not supposed to be see-through. Bumper is completely split in half right here and coming off of the actual like frame of it. So, needless to say, the bumper's in pretty rough shape. What we're going to try and salvage is the grille, the carbon fiber splitter, and potentially these turn signals. All right, because I'm stubborn and I also realized I'm a residential painter, I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and tackle all of this myself and maybe save a little money, maybe learn a new skill along the way. Never painted automotive before, so this is gonna be a fun journey, but we have the hood off the car, and because of my chronic addiction to trying to get things done on a car without all the parts arriving in time, or I guess before all the parts arrive, Smokey looks a little bit like a salvage title at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this thing off, sand it, bang out a couple dents, and prime it tonight. Hopefully, I doubt I'm gonna have that much time, but we're gonna try to get all that done tonight. So tomorrow, I can run to the paint store, get the paint, and give this thing a good looking paint job. All right, my phone's at like 2%, so I gotta record this quick. But hood is fully sanded and primed. There's a lot of learning curve. There's some things I'm not happy about. Paint sprayer had a drippage issue in a lot of spots. But here on the final pass, it lost like a bunch of PSI and just kind of splattered some paint. Nothing I can't fix. Light little sand, maybe a little scuff with a razor blade before the finish coat, it'll be fine. But I actually picked up on this surprisingly quick, and I'm very proud of this primer job. All right, it's been overnight. It's morning again. Smokey still looks like a salvage title, but we have the primer on the hood. I went ahead and did a quick little sand. You can see some areas that I had issues in. The spray gun was leaking, and it leaked onto the panel and a little bit over here on this final coat. But this is the primer coat, so as long as it's even, I'm not really too worried about it. I don't think it should show in the final product. But like an issue like that, it is smooth. So that being said, I'm not too worried about showing up in base coat or anything. But we are finally ready for our finish coat. We got right here, I got it matched up to the car, some shop line base coat and some reducer. Now, the place I bought this from told me it was going to be a 1-to-1 mixture, so we're going to go ahead and mix them 1-to-1 in the paint gun, spray it, give it 10 minutes, spray it again, give it 10 more minutes, and spray it again. Throw some clear on it 30 minutes after we finished. And then, once that cures fully, we get to put this thing back on the car. All right, and that is the first base coat on the hood. And, like, this just looks... I mean, it's, don't get me wrong, you can still see sanding marks, it's dull, whatever. But, in general, This is actually coming out really clean looking. All right, boys, we just did the final coat, and I mean, look at how good this came out. We're gonna let this dry for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and spray our clear coat. All right, the hood is finally finished, and while there are some imperfections, I'm still really happy with how this hood came out. Now, I just sprayed the final clear coat on it, so it's gonna take a little bit to, actually, dry up. There's still some spots that are a little tacky right now, but once they kind of even out and dry up, it'll look pretty much identical to the clear coat on the car. Now, of course, we have our issues here. Now, this might not seem like a whole lot of an issue. This is where the hose barely touched the hood. I do notice it when you go over here, it gets darker. Sucks, but also not super worried about it. I mean, this is an OEM hood that has just been repainted. It still looks better than it did. The old one had a ton of swirl marks, being black. That tends to happen on these cars. Automatic washes, being 20 years old, so and so forth. But all in all, I can say I'm very happy with how this hood has come out. It came out very clean looking. All right, the hood has finished drying and it is on the Mustang. Now, as you can even see from here in the camera a little bit, it's a little foggy. The paint, it is the exact same color. I mean, if you look up here, identical color. However, there's quite a bit of orange peel in this. Yeah. It's got some bad orange peel. However, very easily, once it cures, within like 25 to 90 days of being on the car, I can go ahead and wet sand it with 1200 or 1300 and just hit it with a quick polish, and it should take out all of that orange peel. So that's good. But you'll notice we still don't have a bumper on this car, and that's because for some reason, weather conditions with the recent snowstorm have stopped all trucks from Charlotte coming to my area. It's on the truck, the bumper's on the truck, but yeah, they just won't drive with it. Which is crazy to me because can you guys tell me where you see the snow? No? That's because it snowed a week ago and it's been 70 ever since. I have a different thing we're going to be doing to this hood, and that is hood struts. I've been wanting to run these for like the past year, but I can't run them on a carbon hood. Now I have this hood, so I can run my hood struts again. That'll be a lot nicer because currently I threw away my hood prop when I got these, so I've been using a pool cue ever since, but these will be a lot nicer on there. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these on the car and do a little something different to the hood. All right, and with that, the hood struts are on the car. Sorry, I didn't really record a lot of that because, to be honest, it was surprisingly annoying to hold the hood with one hand and the makeshift hood prop I have, along with putting both the struts in. But I did get it done. They look crazy, and they are just so much better than that little thing I had. And after a long time of waiting, because for some reason, even though the snowstorm was, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, they couldn't drive the truck still. But now we have our bumper in, and as you can see, we got some stuff to fix. Now, as I was saying before, I almost dropped this bumper. We got some things to fix. So instead of paying, like $300 for shipping fees, I decided to just let them bend my bumper in half when they sent it to me. But, small problem, and we'll go outside so you guys can see. Do you guys see the sun anywhere? Because I sure as hell don't, and that's what it takes to bring one of these bumpers back to their proper form. So instead, we're going to be using a heat gun and trying to bend this back into place. I've already tried. It got a little bit better, but I just got to go ahead and bend this down a little bit. Bend these down without deforming the whole bumper, and we'll be good. So we're going to try and do that right quick. Then we're going to sand it up, put our base coat on it because it's already pre-primed. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera. It doesn't really look primed, but they advertise it is, so I'm going to trust them on that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing back into shape and start sanding. All right, now I had to just test fit the bumper on the car before I painted it, and yes, I put the grill in there. We're going to be running the billet style SVT, I think, or SVE grill, along with the California special bumper. And I do have the blower inserts. We got to put those in. I didn't want to put them in just because that would be pointless. The reason I put that in was to make sure the bumper is going to flatten out once the grill's in, so I don't got to worry about flattening that too much. But this is what it's going to look like on the car, and it looks crazy. All right, we just finished our fourth and final coat on this, and it's good. It's good. It looked good. It looked good. We're gonna let this dry for 30 minutes, and in the meantime, we got a new bumper, we got a new grill, we got a new lower grill. I did not buy new turn signals. However, as you guys can see here, I'm in desperate need of new ones. This one's actually even worse. As you can see, this is the only part that shows through the bumper, but I do want to try to clean these up. Now, I just sprayed some brake clean on them to try and see if that would take it off, if it was a residue. It's not. Apparently, it looks like someone tinted them, and they've been tinted for years. We're also going to, because I had a little bit of paint left over, we're going to leave it in here probably till the last bit. I'm going to take some Q-tips and go over a couple of rust spots that I've noticed on the car over time. All right, now I have just cleaned up this one a little bit. I just sprayed the clear on it, so it's still a little bit, glossy in the light, so you're not gonna be able to see it good. If I block the light, you can see it is a little bit better. But the main issue is there's a lot of water vapor, or a lot of water buildup on the inside of it because the seal wasn't great. So it does look better in person, but this is the one I haven't done. Now the issue here is either this is inside or I didn't hit it with a high enough grit. So we're gonna go ahead and do that on this one. We're gonna try to start with a 80 or 180, I mean, and then work our way up from there. This one I just did 220. So we're gonna try to work our way up from a 180 on this one, see if we can't get all of that stuff out. This is how the turn signals have turned out. I think it's a lot better than they were. Like way better than they were. Now you can actually see up inside of there. All right, we just got our first coat of clear on, and I will say there is a little bit of orange peel if I look closely. But also first pass, I can fix that. I'm currently messing with the settings. I've been messing with the settings as I've gone down this piece, just to try and find what gives me the least amount of orange peel. Here, I mean, it's a little bit, but also it's the first coat. It just got laid, so I'm not too worried about it. We just finished spraying our final coats of clear. Now, there's still some orange peel, but also, meh. I mean, at this point, I didn't really even pay for the paint job. It's already paid itself off with the tools I got versus what I would have been spending. I think it looks really good still, though, even with a little bit of orange peel it has. It definitely came out way better than that hood did. So I'm probably going to have to wet sand and do the hood and all still. But this, on the other hand, came out really good, and I'm so excited for it to cure and for it to go on the car. All right, the bumper is finished curing. It's been a full day later, and I'm so excited to put this on the car. It came out so damn good. We're gonna go ahead and open up the garage, and yes, I did some cleanup. There's still some more to do. I gotta take out all that and clean up this area. But the shop's also been cleaned out just a little bit, sort of toolbox, everything like that. So let's go ahead and pull in the car, get this bumper on there, and I am excited. And the bumper is on the car, and oh my God, that looks insane. I am so happy with how that came out. It actually looks pretty much like a factory finish. Now, it's slightly off colored in the dark, but if you look at it in the light, the camera's not picking it up. It looks a little different on camera, but I promise you these two panels are the same color in person. I'd say it came out really nice looking, actually. Like, look at that. So, that's another thing we can check off our list. We've painted the hood, still needs a bit of work. We have put on and replaced the bumper, brand new bumper, replaced the grill because it was chipping, and fixed up our turn signals. So, that's pretty much all the front end stuff done. All right, we got Smokey back in the garage, and we finally have our brake caliper, pads, and new brake line to put on this thing. I should have probably picked up some rust remover since we're taking the wheel off, but I didn't think about it, so we're just going to go ahead and roll with it and clean that later. All right, now we've just gotten the old brake line off the car, and as you can see, this is what was holding back all that brake fluid since it happened. And I've been nearly daily driving it because the Miata gave out. I just fixed it. And that big bitch right there doesn't fucking work. Even though it's a 2020. Yeah, fuck you, Chevy. This is why I have a Ford and a Mazda. Alright, and after enough anise to make an angry politician quiet, our brakes should no longer make any noises. And we are ready to put this back on. I haven't connected the brake line yet, and I know this is kind of a skip forward in the part, but I also didn't want to record all that other crap, so you guys can deal. Because, well, it's quite frankly my video, my car, and please don't click off. I need the views. All right, and with that, we have finished our number, I don't know what repair, but we have finished all the repairs we're going to be doing in this episode. The brake is on there. We just bled them with the help of my beautiful girlfriend right over there. And they don't leak anywhere. The only issue I had is eBay, or Detroit Axle actually, sent me the wrong side. They sent me a passenger side line. I was able to make it work. It sucks because it's not actually held in. It's a little loosey-goosey, but it's also held in other places, so I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this wheel back on the car, and we have all functioning brakes again. And we're going to end the video off right here. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you didn't, leave a comment down below and let me know what I can do better. I'm trying to improve with every video, but regardless, I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end, and I am so happy with how this thing looks. We got a lot more coming, so stay tuned. Hope you guys have a great day. This has been Golden. Peace out.